Do you ever write timed essays and find yourself running out of time or feeling pressured? I'm going to walk you through the process of writing a timed essay step by step and give you a real example. You can use these strategies for any essay, whether it's an AP exam, a summer reading essay, or any class writing assignment. So first off, timing is of the essence. This is one of my favorite quotes. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. Do you see the pun? Anyway, this just shows you that you need to account for every minute possible to write the best essay. For example, if you have a 40-minute chunk of time, you can brainstorm for 2 minutes, plan your essay for 4 minutes, write the actual essay for 32 minutes, and proofread for 2 minutes. When you're brainstorming, step 1 is to read the prompt. Remember to highlight, circle, and underline words, whatever helps you understand your task. The prompt usually has active verbs that tell you what to do. Here are some examples. If the prompt says to evaluate something, that means to determine the importance or significance of something. Analyze means to break down into small parts. And obviously, compare and contrast is identifying similarities and differences. Once you do that, step 2 is to take a position or figure out a topic that you want to write about. Using a mind map or a brainstorming bubble is really useful. Start with a central idea and use the outer circles to write relevant details. This will show you if you have enough information to support your topic and write a whole essay about it. Step number 3 is to write your central claim or thesis statement. I actually made a whole video about how to write an effective thesis, so I'll post the link to that either here or at the end of this video. Here's an example of a thesis I might write for a timed essay about political parties. The Federalists had more of an impact on the U.S. government than the Democratic Republicans due to their advocacy of Hamilton's economic plan and powerful branches of the national government. Next, you have to plan your paragraphs. It's important to do this so that you don't have to think as much while writing the actual essay. Your plan for your timed essay could go like this. The introductory paragraph starts out with a broad abstract idea, narrows down to background information specific to your topic, and ends with the thesis. For the body paragraphs, I like to write the topic of each paragraph and short bullet points underneath. If I were writing a literary essay, I would find quotes from the text, jot those down, and write a quick analysis in a couple of words. If I were writing any other type of essay, I would write each claim that I want to prove and then pieces of evidence to support it underneath. I would repeat these steps for however many body paragraphs there are. And for the conclusion, I want to explain a new insight, or the giant assertion that the whole essay is supposed to prove, and you can do this in a simple phrase. Going along with the example of an essay about political parties, my introduction would go something like this. My abstract idea would be the concept of a strong versus a weak central government, and I would give background information on both parties. For instance, the Democratic Republicans were more aligned with agricultural interests. They prioritized states' rights, and they wanted a Bill of Rights in the Constitution. On the other hand, the Federalists aligned themselves with industrial interests, they were commerce-focused, and they wanted a strong federal government to oversee the states. My thesis would claim that the Federalists had a greater impact on the U.S. government. My body paragraphs would refer to the subtopics in my thesis. The first one would talk about Hamilton's economic plan. I could claim that this plan was effective because the central government would assume state debts, impose excise taxes, and create a national bank. To back this up, I could provide statistics about the national debt before and after the plan was implemented. The second body paragraph would focus on the 3 branches of government. I could talk about the court's power of judicial review and the specific powers allotted to the President and Congress. To support this, I could include excerpts from the Constitution. My conclusion would restate my thesis, and here's my new insight. A powerful federal government would unify the states and prevent them from gaining too much power. Here are 4 tips for when you're writing the essay. Number 1 is to skip your introductory paragraph or just your first sentence. I find that it's kind of hard to write your first sentence because you're just getting into that essay writing mode, so don't feel bad about skipping it or coming back to it later. Number 2 is to think of your topic sentences as mini thesis statements, and this will help you find the balance between making your topic sentences too general or making them too specific. Number 3 is to include transitions at the end of each paragraph to make sure that your essay flows smoothly. And number 4 is to not restate your thesis word for word in your conclusions. Add some more details to differentiate it from the introduction. You've finally made it to the proofreading stage. So in the last 2 to 3 minutes of your essay, make sure to check for any spelling or grammar mistakes, look for any errors in punctuation or sentence structure, and also check over your word choice. Sometimes when I'm writing my essay, I find that I can't really find the right word for a specific sentence, so I'll underline that word and come back to it when I'm proofreading. And finally, after you've read your whole essay over, revisit the prompt. Try to find out and see, does my essay actually answer the prompt? And if it does, then you are all set. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos, click my icon to subscribe and tap the bell to receive notifications whenever I make a new video. Comment below, tell me what other writing topics would you like me to cover. I will see you next time.